All right, pre-show shenanigans, Grant. This is take two. Unlike the lost episode with Miller Moss, I actually do have cell service, so we could restart the whole thing. But my power just went out when we started recording this the first time. So this is our second take.
Maybe a warning for this episode.
Yeah. maybe
a sign for things to come.
That is one hell of a warning. But Grant, I got something that's probably going to lead straight into the episode here. NFL related. Grant, I have a list of the last 20 offensive rookie of the year winners. All right. There's two ways this could go. I'm just going to list them all out, first of all. And then I'm going to let you just inadvertently will dictate.
I just really quickly try to do the last three.
Yeah,
I think I can do it.
You can do the last
CJ Stroud. Okay. The year before, who were rookies? The year before that. It's probably a glaringly obvious pick.
Yes, to you, yes, it should be glaringly obvious.
Garrett Wilson.
Yes.
The year before that, was it Trevor Lawrence?
No. I'll give 5 seconds. 5. Come on, also obvious. 3, 2, 1.
I can't go back that far.
Grant. Jamar Chase. But here are the last 20. All right.
Yeah, that makes sense.
You are going to inadvertently dictate which direction I'm going to go after this, okay? Last 20, obviously, we just have the last 3. Herbert, Kyler Murray, Saquon Barkley, Alvin Kamara, Dak Prescott, Todd Gurley, Odell, Eddie Lacy, Robert Griffin III, Cam Newton, Sam Bradford, Percy Harvin, Matt Ryan, AP, Vince Young, no idea who this guy is, Williams from Tampa Bay, and Ben Roethlisberger.
First name on the Williams?
Last name on the Williams. I don't know. I'll have to look it up.
Do you know what the first name is?
I'm about to look it up. Williams, Bucks, O'Roy. Carnell Williams.
Okay. Not familiar, to be honest. Maybe I just exposed myself there. Yeah. But where
So Grant, let me ask you 2 questions here. There's 2 things here. One, which one of these guys outside of Carnell Williams, one of these guys is not like the others, Grant? Which
Eddie Lacy.
Thank you very much. The fact that he won Offensive Rookie of the Year is I
need to look up the 2013 NFL season. Who were rookies that year?
Who was playing that year? That is what we need to have answered, first of all.
Second thing
that I was thinking about here, Grant. There are 1, 2, 3, I believe 3 teams with 2 offensive rookies of the years in the last 20 years. So 6 of the last 20 have been from the same team. That I feel like is very good in comparison of everybody here. Of if you're a rookie for one of those teams,
yes,
like very good precedent for you.
And I'm just checking, is that team I see the Giants have 2. Who else?
Giants have 2.
Who else has 2?
St. Louis Cardinals, or not Cardinals, St. Louis Rams, if you still count them. Yep.
Wait, I see 1 for the Rams. Okay, Gurley and Bradford. And okay, my only explanation for those 2 is that I have to immediately react. Both of those 2 years with St. Louis, in a way, could you say they're just kind of free rookie of the years because there wasn't really competition? Like I'm looking at 2013.
My greater point.
Okay. And I'm looking just at that draft class. I'm looking at potential candidates for a rookie of the year. Do you know who the first quarterback drafted was in 2013?
2013, EJ Manuel.
EJ Manuel was the first quarterback off the board. I'm impressed. I'm very impressed you got that. But he was number 1. Here are the offensive weapons who went in the first round that year.
Okay.
So there was not a skill player, and we'll count quarterbacks in there too. No skill offensive position was drafted until pick 8. Do you know who was selected with pick 8?
2013.
This is so random. I mean, I guess it's an extremely well-known player, but like, I would be shocked if you could just pull this.
Well-known player by NFL standards or well-known by college standards?
College standards. football standards, you could say.
2013.
By how well he did in college, he is a great in football as a sport.
Tavon Austin?
Yes, it was Tavon Austin.
So I knew it was a Rams guy. But I just couldn't remember if Tavon was a first-round pick.
For reference, this is the amount of linemen that got drafted in the top 14, okay?
Was that Eric Fisher? Matt Khalil was pick 4.
Second pick, Luke Jokel. Fourth pick, Lane Johnson. Seventh pick, Jonathan Cooper. 10th pick, Chance Warmack. 2 guards went in the top 10 that year. That's all you need to know about the talent of that draft class.
That pick, well, yeah.
And how the lack of talent in that draft class.
So Grant, this is
not much competition. Like the first
this round, is kind of the bigger point.
Yeah, Cordero Patterson was one of 4 skill guys who went round 1. It should have, off of pure name, D-Hop should have won Rookie of the Year that year, in theory, if we're looking back on it.
Yeah, hindsight's 2020. Yeah,
I have no idea how well he played that year. But just looking at the competition, I understand why Eddie Lacy won easily. There was no rookie quarterback.
I mean, this is the point that I wanted to make, though. So looking at these teams, look at the teams that had multiple offensive rookies of the year within a close stretch of each other. Think about on first glance, just thinking about it. If you have 2 players that win offensive rookie for the year for you that are on the same team at the same time, your expectation would be that team does pretty well, Grant.
Oh, yeah. Yes. That's
all
fair.
3. All 3 of the teams that are on here that have had that happen have not done well. Like, maximum made a first round of the playoffs. That's it. Sam Bradford and Todd Gurley. I don't know if they overlapped on that team or not, but I don't think they did. But still, that's within 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years of each other, essentially. Odell and Saquon Barkley, within four years of each other. So that, I mean, the same deal. Then you had Adrian Peterson and Percy Harvin. Vikings, I don't think, like, the furthest they made it was, well, maybe 2012 year. I don't know if Percy Harvin was still on the team then. I guess he would have had to be, but still, like, no major accomplishments really for any of these teams that have had 2 offensive rookie of the years in the same stretch.
Yeah, when you were bringing up Cornell Williams, I know why I didn't recognize him. You're referring to Cadillac Williams there.
Oh, that makes more sense.
I get a pass.
I don't.
I get a pass.
But the reference here is, I would say the watch alert right now is the Cardinals, because Kyler Murray won Offensive Rookie of the Year. It would be about that same stretch of time as these other situations, and Marvin Harrison Jr. is on watch for Offensive Rookie of the Year. If Marvin Harrison Jr. wins Offensive Rookie of the Year, Grant, based on the history, I don't think the Cardinals win anything.
Let's take this one step further also. I guess it doesn't really add up, but in a way, if Marv won Rookie of the Year, would that confirm he won't be on the Cardinals after his rookie contract? I'm trying to look at the other guys here. Like, how long was it until Percy Harvin went to Seattle? I know
that was
leave until like his 3rd contract.
That was their first Super. Percy Harvin was his first Super Bowl.
Yeah, was that right after rookie deal? Yes. Yeah,
it had to have been. Like, that doesn't work other way. It has to have been.
Yeah. The Giants, you could say they have somewhat of a pass. A lot of time, like, by the time Saquon was a rookie, that was Odell's last year.
Yeah, in New York, but it's still like.
But
I mean,
objectively speaking, what you're saying, I'm with you on that. The Cardinals one's very interesting though, with Marv and Tyler. Like, just going back to Tyler when he was winning Opoi, he didn't win MVP, right? Did he? Just Opoi, or did he win MVP?
He's never won MVP. No, you think Kyler Murray won MVP?
He won something.
Offensive Rookie of the Year.
Was it just that?
That's yes. You think Kyler Murray won Opoi with Lamar?
I don't know why I think that.
Maybe in college. You think about him in college. Won the Heisman.
Oh yeah, no, I'm absolutely crazy over here.
We're not playing Madden here.
The bigger takeaway I have from all this is that if there's one consistency in terms of O-Roy or D-Roy, is that one college tends to produce a lot of Rookie of the Years. That's one consistency I can see here. And a lot of the times, yeah, I can point to NFL teams that have ruined my favorite players' NFL careers. Yeah, just real quick, since 2016, the amount of rookie of the years that Ohio State has had, 1, 2, 3, 4, they've had 6 rookie of the years since 2016. Ohio so that's State 8 years. There's 16 possible rookie
real
of the
quick,
years.
Real
Ohio
quick.
State has 6 of the last.
Wait, so CJ Garrett. Well, hold on. Are you pseudo claiming? Oh, D-Roy, a D-Roy.
Rookie of the years.
Yeah. Okay. I was about to say, are you like pseudo claiming? Like, I don't know.
No, I'm not counting Burrow. Burrow didn't even win Rookie of the Year, so yeah, no, not counting any. Halves.
Yeah. Is there any other people on at least?
Unless JMO won Rookie of the Year, I don't think there's another Ohio State guy I can claim.
Yeah, no.
But yeah, the only consistency I've seen throughout these Rookie of the Year stuff is that one college tends to produce more Rookie of the Years than others. And of those guys who won Rookie of the Years, the only one that we could say is just like real, like not panned out is Chase Young. And I'm going to blame that all on Dan Snyder and FedEx Field. Not 1 ounce of that is going to Chase Young. It's all going to the org. So yeah, that's my big takeaway here. One school puts out Rookie of the Years, others don't. So that's what I see.
How many did you say that you had?
6 of the last 16.
6 of the last 16. I mean, LSU's probably next, right?
LSU's got Jamar Chase, Odell. Yeah, they got 2. That's cute.
I mean, do they not have any defense? I'm trying to think back.
That's cute. Like, yeah, 2's cute. Not 6 though.
Yeah. I mean,
it's adorable, really.
I'm just like, that's probably it, right?
Yeah,
that's probably the next closest.
Yeah, no, I'm looking through it. I see Odell Beckham Jr. and Jamar Chase for LSU. Great players, phenomenal players. Don't get me wrong. Yeah, just
Also, I see a correlation of New York Giant rookies and leaving the team. So Malik Neighbors, if you win, we'll see you later.
We can go into it a bit more later when we talk about the rookies, but like Malik Neighbors, I was saying this a long time ago, pre-draft. I think Mar's the best receiver in this class, but I think Neighbors is next, and I think the gap after Neighbors quite a fall off to Odunze, and then there's another gap. But I think Malik Neighbors is unreal, and unfortunately, he's on the New York Giants.
Hey, bearded Danny Dimes, it's different, right?
You're right. No. In terms of a vibes perspective, the vibes of the New York Giants have gone up tenfold. But if we're looking at it from other just football perspectives, yeah, no, that's not a marriage that's going to last very long. Like I didn't see the offseason Hard Knocks with the Giants, but I saw clips of their GM. Like, should we trade up here for like his son? The Giants GM son was in the draft room. Was like, yes, go get Jaden Daniels, dad. Go get Jaden Daniels. So who knows? Yeah, like if I were the, like, let's just also say this. On the topic of diva wide receivers, where is one location where you probably don't want a diva wide receiver? Probably the New York Giants. Among any NFL team where, ooh, yikes, the diva attitude might get really ramped up here, it is for the Giants. That would be the one team you'd look at and be like, ugh.
Giants are who? Probably Cowboys.
Yeah. If you're number 88 on the Cowboys, yeah, Jerry Jones will give you priority treatment over anybody else.
Unless you're CeeDee Lamb, in which case you don't have an extension yet. So
yeah. Maybe I got to backtrack on that one. That one's weird to me. Because I feel like CeeDee Lamb probably does clearly deserve that next contract, but we'll see.
We'll have the money.
We'll see. Yeah, they don't. No, they do not have the money. I think still in theory, I know Zeke's on a new contract now with the Cowboys, but I still think
they decided to amend the situation by
I think he's getting paid out a little bit still from that first one.
No, 100%.
So but yeah, no, I think we'll just rip into the episode off of that. But yeah, wow. Rookie of the Year talks. Who would have thought? Who would have known? But without further ado, what is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Waterboy Podcast. Today's episode 247. Probably should have something with recruiting in here for 247, but we don't. But Team USA.
Hey, we're open 24/7.
Yeah, that's one way of looking at it. Team USA won gold. NFL preseason week 1 has wrapped. The college football AP preseason poll top 25 has dropped, and Mookie Betts is back in Dodger blue. Also, it was Matt Kemp Day on Sunday. I want to shout out my GOAT, Matt Kemp.
We almost lost. But Rip River Ryan, by the way, because that's the only thing we're going to say, because this is a football episode.
Our guy,
this is a football episode.
But shout out Mookie back in the lineup. We will play our part and stop talking about the Dodgers so they can start playing well.
That tends to be
once it becomes football season and baseball kind of takes a step back. That's when the Dodgers can start playing.
Yeah, and then we start talking about them again in October, and then they immediately lose.
Oh, yeah. No,
there's a connection here.
We may gloss over that aspect. We won't discuss the Dodgers until they win a playoff series.
Okay, well, Grant, you know what? I know the AP 25 poll. I know that drop. I feel like that's not super pressing right now.
I'll be honest. I want to quickly address the Team USA winning gold. I have just some quick little points. First things first, Steph Curry is unbelievable. This might be like the third time in my life that I've been rooting for Steph Curry. And it's
you get very limited chances. You get very limited chances to do that.
It's way more fun rooting for Steph Curry than against Steph Curry. So I'm going to start off by saying that Ohio's finest, shout out Steph. He's unreal. He had like 4 separate threes to go up 9 in the last 2 minutes of that gold medal match. And he was also absolutely unreal against Serbia in the semifinals. So Steph Curry, gonna have to give you a Waterboy round of applause. Finger snaps in Waterboy style. You're getting some credit. Snaps. But the larger takeaway I had from this has nothing to do with Jason Tatum, has nothing to do with Joel Embiid, has nothing to do with Team USA. Victor Wembanyama. Everett, I want you to take out your big red marker and I want you to circle the name Victor Wembanyama. I want you to circle it and I want you to write the word problem right there, because that's what Victor Wembanyama is. He is a problem. What Victor Wembanyama was doing against Team USA, and you know, is this the best Team USA basketball team we've ever sent over? No. But for what we could do, but for what we could do this year, yeah, that was probably the best 15.
Minus a
Jaylen Brown and an Embiid. But that was pretty much as best as you can get. And Wemby was getting his. And now I know they have some goaltending rules, which really help out Wembanyama because he's just that tall with his wingspan. But circle him as a problem, folks. I would say beginning 2020, I'll give him 2 years. Beginning in the 2027-28 NBA season, it's Wembanyama's league, and we're all just living in it, watching. I'll give him 2 years.
You said that before. Okay. All right. Let's get into some NFL talk. All right. Preseason week 1 in the books. We're now on to week 2, and there's a lot of things, Grant, that came out of this week. There's a lot of things that came out of this game. The biggest thing of the entire week are rookie quarterbacks. And I know you had.
It's honestly very refreshing. We have a nice cycle of rookie quarterbacks this year.
You know, I know you had more pressing things to do than watch the Chargers play.
It's called enjoying my weekend.
So I know you didn't watch much of the preseason. I did. The one thing that I'm going to say, outside of Drake May, it would be so funny if every single quarterback in the first round panned out and then Drake May did not. After the whole fuss over Drake May being maybe better than Caleb Williams, or being the quarterback that people trade up to go and get or whatever. It would be so funny if he was the one quarterback that did not work out.
Yeah, when it comes to Drake May, big name prospect that's been talked about a lot throughout college, going back to his second year at North Carolina. I'm not sure if it was redshirt freshman or true sophomore year. I'm not sure, but his first year starting in North Carolina, Drake May was being praised by the national media in general. People could not stop talking about Drake May, how well he was doing. I will just point out, it's North Carolina football we're talking about here, but he's had some good playmakers at North Carolina. He was throwing to Josh Downs his first year. They had those two
Williams
backs.
Was there, I'm pretty
Javonte sure. And who's the other?
It was Ty Chandler. Ty Chandler was the other one.
There's a third. There's a third.
Was there a third?
I'm blanking. Shit. He had weapons though. There is what I'm saying. Which I'm bringing that up to maybe take away from all the hype we had surrounding Drake May. Maybe he had some good weapons throwing.
Well, the bigger point is we talked about it last week, but I mean when you kind of have somebody who is
let me see. Go on.
I think he played one drive. When you have Joe Milton being the better quarterback of the two of you, there's a problem if you were a first round pick. Now, I mean, looking at all the quarterbacks who played, the first round quarterbacks, Drake May was the worst, consensusly the worst preseason performance out of all of them. And that says a lot. But I mean, look, for your sanity, but also for your dynasty team, Bo Nix did pretty well.
Wait. I want to stay on the Patriots real quick. I'm not quite ready. I need to spend a minute on Joe Milton.
Yeah, no, I got you. Go ahead.
I was overhearing this recently, so I hate to steal opinion. Shout out Big T, but I think Joe Milton is the number one guy that you do not want to be drafted with if you're a rookie quarterback. If we're looking at pure measurables, pure potential outlook, just physical capabilities, Joe Milton may be the greatest practice quarterback in the history of sports. Forget NFL, college, of all sports. Joe Milton might be the greatest practice performer ever. He's now tricked 3 very highly regarded, highly esteemed football programs into thinking he's a good quarterback, despite every single piece of film evidence out there showing that he is not a good quarterback. He has tricked now 3 football organizations. So first, Michigan. Michigan believed Joe Milton was the starting quarterback until they made him the starting quarterback and realized, oh shit, he is not a starting quarterback. Then he went to Tennessee and tricked the University of Tennessee into thinking, oh shit, we have a gunslinger here, until they put him in at quarterback and realize, oh shit, he could not play quarterback. And now the New England Patriots have been tricked into believing Joe Milton is a good quarterback.
Cycle. It's the cycle that keeps going.
You don't need more than a 10-second conversation with a Tennessee or Michigan football fan to know Joe Milton is not him. Okay, all you need is 10 seconds. So in terms of the Drake May versus Joe Milton report, knowing what I just said about Joe Milton, and that both looking at the preseason game and reports, he's outperforming Drake May. These are major red flags for Drake May. Major red flag, because I know how
more
bad
than
Joe
major,
Milton is.
Like the extreme.
We know how awful Joe Milton is at football and playing quarterback specifically.
And if I was a Patriots fan, I wouldn't be like, oh my God, look, like we could have 2 guys that we could choose from. Like you'd have to see, the glass is half full and half empty, obviously. But if I was a Patriots fan, I would be extremely, extremely concerned over the fact that my first round pick is looking worse than Joe Milton. And 2, my situation is between that and Joe Milton. So it's like, there's only concern here. There's no winning. Like, I know that Drake May is going to be a project, but if your project is losing out to a guy who was perceived to be a full-time project like Tyree Jackson coming out of the draft, that's a problem.
Yeah, I mean, there's many problems we have circled here with the New England Patriots franchise and organization as a whole. But yeah, I mean, in a world where Joe Milton, let's say there is a world somewhere that Joe Milton at the end of the year, let's talk next year, Joe Milton is firmly established himself better than Drake May. If I'm the Patriots and that's the case, I'm 1,000,000% committing to Joe Milton over Drake May. He's cheaper.
Yeah, 100%. Yes.
So yeah, I mean, Drake May right now, I'm worried. I'm worried right now.
I would be concerned because there's precedent in general in the NFL for that to happen. But if Joe Milton comes out who is perceived to be a project and plays better to the point where they are contemplating starting him or that he's higher on the depth chart, there's zero reason for them to keep Drake May around. And it's entirely reminiscent of Robert Griffin III and Kirk Cousins. And
yeah, no, that's actually the best example I can think of.
Obviously the situation with that was a little different because one kind of part of the franchise wanted Roger Griffin III, one part didn't. So they
maybe in a way kind of Trey Lance, both. Brock Purdy.
A little bit, but not really because they weren't the same draft. So no,
not same draft, but just in the thought of
yes,
top quarterback going with the cheaper.
I am fully with covering our bases and getting two quarterbacks. If you're a quarterback needy team, draft two quarterbacks. Cool. Like the chances one of them hit goes up.
From the Falcons' outlook, we were saying last year they are a quarterback away. So, I don't defend the decision, but
they got two.
In theory, the Penix pick isn't as bad as I. Yeah, but
no. I mean, look, the point of it is, draft two quarterbacks. The chance that one of them hits is higher. But when you draft two that are both perceived to be, long-term builds guys, one of them being a first-round investment, it's a little bit more concerning. So I don't know. And with a comparison too, by the way, with one of the other guys in the draft in the first round, especially that was perceived to be a project, and Bo Nix coming out and doing really well in his first game with not much in the Broncos offense.
Well, yeah, we'll get into that in a second.
But I'm just saying, but that's also
I have some strong opinions on Bo Nix from his college days that it will be tough for me to break those opinions. But
from the Patriots' perspective, though, that makes me more concerned because I took this guy. Keep in mind, he was the 4th overall pick. So you're spending a lot.
Wasn't he 3?
3. Yes, he was 3. You're spending a lot of money on him, which are guarantees. So now I'm thinking about that. I'm thinking about the fact all these other quarterbacks that are getting paid less that were taken later are doing it's a whole process. It's the whole issue.
Yeah, maybe a little buyer's remorse in there, just knowing oh my God, we could have just taken Marv there,
Yeah, considering they don't have a wide receiver right now. KJ Osborne,
Kayshon Boutte put up 50 yards. The Patriots.
That's a bold one.
The Patriots wide receiver room, it is quite funny, quite interesting. Jalen Reagor is a focal point of that offense for what it's worth.
Oh yeah, the elite of the elite.
No, genuinely, he may be they may try to use him like Curtis Samuel, 2017 Ohio State.
They may throw him at H-back. You remember what I said 2 years ago about, or maybe it was last year, what Kevin O'Connell should do with Jalen Reagor? Do you remember exactly what I said?
No, I remember. I think we have proven now, he's not an NFL player. I think the Patriots will try that though, and then be
we should have known about TCU wide receivers the first time.
Probably should stop this.
Should have learned about TCU wide receivers the first time.
Yeah. We should have learned our lesson years ago about TCU wide receivers, folks, but I guess not. But Patriots talk. Yeah, good stuff. Okay, I guess we could bring up Bosif right now. So I would say Bosif is getting a lot of praise online. Which, okay, I want to start by saying this. Bo Nix will always have the 2019 Iron Bowl, Bo Nix Truthers, okay? We will always have that. They can never take that away from us. So I want to start off with that. Next thing I want to say, it's just like Broncos fans have been kind of punished in the past couple of years, where I saw a good amount of Broncos fans online being like, it's refreshing to see a quarterback mobile like Bo Nix and able to extend drives and pick up first downs. And if they're looking at Bo Nix as like the answer for that, oh shit, you guys are cursed. Oh God. If you guys are looking at Bo Nix as the answer, my goodness. And I know nobody cares about fantasy teams. I am slightly attached to Bo Nix as an owner of him in a dynasty league where I drafted him in the first round. But Bo Nix, did his performance over the weekend make me feel better about him? No, it didn't confirm or help out anything. Nothing has changed.
It's the preseason.
My opinion on Bo Nix. I do think, though, watch out. He has the pieces. He has the coaches. He has the weapons. He could be a dark horse for Heisman this year. Watch out. Bo Nix is coming for that Heisman. He's looking like a threat.
This is what I will say. This is what I'm going to say. There has been an inextricable link between Bo Nix, the Broncos, and JJ McCarthy and the Vikings. And on multiple different things, but obviously, stems from Sean Payton being like, yeah, we got the Vikings to, come up and take JJ McCarthy when we weren't planning to take him anyways, and all this other stuff. And because of that, Broncos fans have been in Vikings Twitter being like, oh, like when the depth charts released, they're like, JJ McCarthy can't even beat out Sam Darnold or Nick Mullins to be quarterback 2 or 1. Like, what the fuck? And then obviously 3 hours later, Bo Nix was listed as quarterback 3 behind Zach Wilson and Jarrett Stidham. And then it came to the preseason debut, and we had another guy be like, yeah, Bo Nix, so much better than JJ McCarthy. Like, look at these stats. And they just omitted JJ McCarthy's 2 touchdown passes. It's like, we get it. All right. Get it. But in the end, the best hope is that both quarterbacks work out. Like, let's talk about it that way. Okay. Both quarterbacks have had huge knocks on them. Both quarterbacks are playing well. And I mean, in the end, is JJ McCarthy going to be better? Yeah. But I mean, will Bo Nix hopefully be better than Paxton Lynch? Hopefully. So you never know.
I'll be honest. What is to be better than Paxton Lynch? Does he just need to like play in an NFL game?
No, Paxton Lynch started for a couple weeks.
That is true. But I think Bo Nix could just start 1 week and win or loss regardless. Like, better career than Paxton Lynch already.
Let's look at Paxton Lynch Broncos stats. I just remember when Paxton Lynch first started playing, I was so like high on him. I was so excited.
I recently heard some interview with John Elway going over when he picked Paxton Lynch.
I fucked that one up.
And Big Cat was just like, you just really like tall guys, huh? And he's like, yeah, I may have a problem weighing that in my scouting process.
All right. Well, so here's his resume. Paxton Lynch has played in 5 games, 61.7 completion percentage. Honestly, not that bad.
Pretty awful, but I thought it would be lower. True.
His second year, he had a 66.7 completion percentage. So
did he have 3 pass attempts?
He had 45.
Wow. Okay, yeah, Paxton. Right? I'll put some respect on your name, Paxton.
Yeah. But 45 pass attempts for 295 yards.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. 792 yards in total.
Yeah, the bar TDs. Is not very high for Bo Nix to pass. I think he can pass 4 that easily.
4 TDs, 4 interceptions. You can do that in.
All right. Yeah, the bar is not high.
Low.
The bar
is low.
Quite literally as low as it could be.
Or I mean, if he can pass the Seaman Demon, that's what matters.
That'll be tough. How long was he in Denver? He's also still a backup. He better be.
Yeah, he's where is he now? Is he
might be on the Bears. I may have saw him on a Hard Knocks thing. I don't know.
Yeah, he might be on the Bears. He's on the Jets right now, or he was. I mean,
worthless
Denver.
Points.
He was there for
Bo
3
Nix
years.
could 100%. You know what? I'm ready to put my career on the line right here. Bo Nix will have a better career than Paxton Lynch. I said it. I said
That's
it.
a bold statement.
I said
That's
it.
a very bold statement.
He will have a better career than Paxton Lynch. I said it. I know.
That's
I know.
A very
guys.
bold statement.
I'm not. I don't feel. I'm. My heart is beating out of my chest saying that, knowing what that means for my career, potentially saying that. So.
But yeah, I don't know. I don't know, man. That might get to the haters might be coming. They might be coming in.
Yeah. On a realistic note, though, about the Denver Broncos. Yeah, I mean, even if Bo Nix does start, like, what, 5-12 ceiling, like this team's bad.
Really. Let me ask you this question. So Jarrett Stidham is QB1 there right now, right? Obviously, Zach Wilson is there, but who the fuck cares? If you were a Broncos fan, or if you were Sean Payton, the season is already, the expectations are really not that high. Would you just say fuck it, and would you just start Bo Nix the whole year and give him the whole exposure? Maybe. Or
whatever's best for him. I don't know. Well,
I do think
if he's going out there getting slaughtered, yeah, take him out. But
that is kind of thing. That's the kind of difference is he
might kill his confidence. You know,
sometimes you have guys where you want to throw them in and you want them to learn that way. And you have guys that you want to sit and have them learn that way.
Yeah, and I don't know how he is.
You know, sometimes there's a middle ground, but the other problem is there's a difference between that middle ground and saying, yeah, you know, Tyrod Taylor, you fucking suck. We're putting Baker Mayfield in week 5.
Like, I feel like,
you know, like it's,
yeah,
that's the thing.
Like, so, Caleb Williams, like, for him, like, I feel like he'd probably be best off playing to grow regardless. But Bo Nix, I think I'd go the other way.
That's the thing. Like, Jaden Daniels start right away.
Yeah, you should.
If Michael Penix was on a team that needed a quarterback,
he's ready to start. Yeah, I thought Penix also looked pretty good too.
He did.
I saw a couple of throws he made where I'm like, yep, I remember when he did that against USC. Like, his balls. I mean, he was throwing just perfect rainbows to
Caleb Williams. Caleb Williams was looking athletic, but you do have to remember, Bears fans, this is the preseason still. All right, he's playing with his first stringers against plumbers. So, you know, it's hit or miss. I shouldn't say plumbers. There's actually some very good players on those teams, but but they're playing against second, third stringers. And yeah, you know, he went 4 for 7. He got out of the pocket, moved around. I know that's nice to see, but keep in mind that's the same thing Justin Fields was doing. And at the same time,
I'll quickly defend Caleb. You know, from what I saw with Justin, Justin would scramble, like, has open receivers and then just fumbles. I'm like, dude, what the fuck am I watching, Justin? You're like, holy shit, he is not NFL caliber. I've just accepted it. Justin Fields' his ass. Like, you know, the thing, like, Caleb, it's like, I think he is in an unfair position. He's going to have so much criticism on him. Any bad play, he'll get destroyed online, absolutely crucified. I'll be one of those crucifiers. I'll be honest. I'm not gonna act like I won't be. But like, yeah, I feel like he's in just an unfair position where he is just as a player situation.
I mean, look, I don't. It's just the comparisons. I don't think that there's any reason or way to accurately compare all of these first round players, because that's what a lot of people have been doing after this first week, especially. One, it's week 1 of the preseason. Two, a lot of these guys are playing with the second stringers or the third stringers. And in this situation, Caleb Williams was playing with the first stringers. All right. There's a very big difference between throwing to Keenan Allen and Rome Odunze, you know, and DJ Moore, or Tristan Jackson and Nick Muse on the Minnesota Vikings, or Tim Patrick and Marvin Mims on the Broncos, right? So, I mean, very, very
unfortunately, Marvin Mims is the starting wide receiver on the Broncos. Unfortunately.
I thought he was behind Tim Patrick.
No. I'm pretty sure Sutton's bona fide. He's the only
one, yeah.
Good.
So I'll just say Greg Dulcich, all right, the tight end. That works. Better. That one works.
Better.
So there's a big difference. So there's no reason to be comparing, right? With that said, though, I want to talk a little bit about JJ McCarthy, right? I had to do. It has to happen. Let's talk about a little bit about JJ McCarthy. Okay. So I know you didn't watch the game. I obviously did.
Hand up. I didn't. Hand up.
I know. There's a couple things I want to address. First thing that I'll say, I was very impressed with his poise. I legitimately thought there was going to be a little bit more anxiety, a little bit more missed throws and stuff. He was pretty accurate. Biggest concern is he doesn't get set. He will throw on the run, doesn't get set, throw on the run, and kind of undercuts it. He wasn't prepared for defensive.
I wasn't watching, so I don't know, but I always thought at Michigan, like going back to that first year where it was between him or Cade, who's going to win this battle, I would go to my Michigan friends, tell them, like, is this even a debate? Like, Michigan's offense with a mobile quarterback would be night and day better than little Cade McNamara behind. Like, what are we even talking about? The fact that was even a discussion at one point boggles my mind. But
I mean, look, he was very mobile, and like that was really nice because he would step up in the pocket, he'd be able to run around and whatnot, and he was doing that. He's not used to the corners being able to undercut routes. He threw a bad pick that way, but overall,
Big Ten doesn't have the greatest corners. Not gonna lie.
But I mean, overall, I think there's a lot to like, and it was really nice to see a quarterback move up in the pocket in the way that he did. Throw, like, he got clobbered on one pass, and he made it like it was nothing. Touch pass right into the pocket, like, it was great. Sam Darnold, on the other hand, looked great until he got to the red zone. Once he got to the red zone, it was bad.
Damn it, Sam.
So I think there legitimately could be a chance JJ starts week 1. I don't think he should. I still don't think he should, especially not versus the Giants defensive line that they got coming in. Because that's going to hurt. That's going to hurt.
That might not be a fun time.
He's in danger. But I think I'm biased. But I do think out of all of the rookie quarterback debuts, JJ McCarthy had the best one for week 1.
You don't say. Okay, JJ, what I thought. So
yeah, you look at it.
My glaring concern with JJ out of college is that he can just make some truly awful decisions. So, a lot of people were clowning him for his interception. From what I've heard, did not seem like the prettiest interception. Seemed like a very, oh my God, JJ, what the hell was that type of play?
No, it was a little bit, but wasn't all that.
He does make a good amount of those at Michigan. Honestly, don't rewatch this for your own sake, but the Michigan Bowling Green game last year where JJ threw 3 interceptions, they are astonishing interceptions thrown by JJ McCarthy, where you're just like, what did you see? Like, what in your brain told you to throw those 3 passes? Nothing. There's nothing in football history that should ever suggest throw those 3 passes that all got picked off, but he did. I always thought JJ, the raw talent, pure traits he has, it's remarkable, unbelievable. Like, first, I want to point out just his running ability, his ability to extend plays. I think of the one play against Alabama where they run like a screen and it's a pass back to JJ. He one-hands it, spins around, and then
throws it. Yep.
How does a human being make that play? And then earlier that year, they make 3 of the worst decisions in the history of quarterbacking history. Like, it doesn't add up. Some's like, what the hell? This guy is the most volatile boomer bust shit I've ever seen in my life. So it's like, if we can cut down on the idiot JJ shit, I'm afraid of what a Vikings offense can be moving forward with that. My God.
Ooh.
But like what you were saying earlier, maybe not be ready for week 1. Like, I think if JJ started week 1, he'll make a ton of mind-blowing throws, plays, picking up 3rd downs when he shouldn't even have a shot at picking it up, and he does, pulls shit out of thin air like it's nothing. He'll give you those magic magician plays, but for every 2 magic plays he gives, he has an egregiously awful pick 6 that loses you the game. So
sounds like me and Madden.
Pick your poison, what you want. Maybe the best way for him to learn is to play. I have no idea. I would probably lean more towards no, but I have no idea. Like
he'll play throughout the preseason too. So
let's really just say this. JJ McCarthy, he can win you football games with his playmaking ability to extend plays, pick up first downs when he shouldn't, but he also has the ability to single-handedly lose you football games as well. So, it's a take what you want with him. And I do think, once again, he's going into such a great landing spot for all these rookie quarterbacks just in general. If there was a location where he is more likely to go towards that first part than the latter, it would be Minnesota. But once again, it is JJ McCarthy. He is McCarthy for a reason. Oh shit, what I was saying earlier though. The running ability, he's obviously a very athletic, mobile quarterback. But
yeah.
Another thing that genuinely blew my mind, crazy, is that he is one of 5 quarterbacks in NFL Combine history to throw a football over 60 miles per hour. Now I know when we think throw power, we think distance, but I feel like a more applicable sense of throw power in the NFL is
I'm gonna be honest, as somebody who had Pratt throw to me.
Oh yeah, the guy who throws 90-mile-an-hour balls. Yeah.
That was terrifying. I can't imagine what a 60 mile per hour, above 60 mile per hour throws.
And, also this could just be this is a general sports thing. Just as time moves on, younger players will have better training and will be more pro ready by the time they're 18. I'm pretty sure Joe Milton is number 1 NFL history for NFL Combine miles per hour. And I think 2 is Kaepernick.
Probably. That would make.
I know JJ's top 5. Only 5 Baker threw it over. Baker's in there too.
Let's see.
Only 5.
Let's see.
Though.
Top. You said top.
Look up NFL quarterbacks over 60 miles per hour combine. I remember reading something that Joe Milton, JJ, and one other quarterback this past offseason are 3 of 5 quarterbacks ever to break 60 miles per hour at the combine.
Let's see. Quarterback ball velocity at combine.
They also have probably not been recording this very long. Yeah.
Yeah. So ironically, all right, this is not categorized well, but I'll just say the top one from each year.
It's not an official stat date. Yeah.
Yeah. Top one from each year. Stetson Bennett, 2023, 58 miles per hour. Malik Willis in 2022, 58 miles per hour. No combine in 21. 2020 was Jacob Eason. 2019 was Will Greer, 59. Still haven't brought. 2018,
Baker.
Josh Allen, 62.
That makes a lot of sense.
Baker Mayfield, 60.
Yeah.
Okay. 2017, Davis Webb. Don't give a fuck. Patrick Mahomes was 55.
Well, I don't necessarily think Mahomes velo throws distance. Mahomes can throw that shit far.
Guess who had the lowest velocity?
Of that specific year, 2017?
That's yes.
I'll be honest, I can't exactly
Deshaun.
Wow.
Deshaun had the lowest at 45.
45?
45.
Now, in these events, are they specifically velo throwing, or is it just recorded their day this was the fastest?
Gives the number for the quarterback's velocity at the NFL Combine. Velocity is measured by a radar gun in miles per hour.
So,
ball.
I'll be honest, that sounds egregiously low. I feel like any maybe not. I feel like any college quarterback could throw a football over 50 miles an hour.
I'm just reading what I got here, man.
No, I'm just going off what that's crazy to me.
Let me just see. I mean, I'm trying to see what the high. Colin Kaepernick was 59.
Maybe it's a different. I remember hearing, or actually, it may have just been a story from 59 Anquan is Bolden saying Colin Kaepernick broke his index finger on a slant route.
59 is still very high though.
Yeah,
59 is still very, very high.
Yeah. But what I think my bigger point with JJ with his mile per hour is that when you look at JJ McCarthy, does he scream athletic specimen in terms of frame? No. It's not like he's 6'5", 240. He's 6'3", 220 measured online. And like, what if he just put on 10 pounds of muscle? Then he could throw harder.
Well, didn't they say that he came in bigger than his measurements were?
Yeah.
So
yeah. I mean, I'm just saying, like, the fact that he is able to throw a football that hard and like he's not even his like full athletic peak build yet is very interesting to me. When you look at a guy like AR-15, where it's like, I'm not sure how much more strength we can get into. He's pretty much as built as we need him to be right now.
No, literally, yeah.
And also, if I bring up another guy like CJ Stroud, like, sure, he might not necessarily throw the ball as hard as other guys, but it's like, you don't need that out of him. You get what I'm saying? Like, it's not like throwing hard is a must-have trait for a quarterback. Like, shit, this could mean nothing in the grand scheme of things for JJ McCarthy if he's not like a Kaepernick bullet slant type of quarterback, or Cam Newton throwing 90-mile-an-hour slants to Kelvin Benjamin. Like, it's probably not going to be what
velocity obviously still matters. Like, velocity is still your ability to get the ball, like get it into a tight space.
You just have larger windows to throw in.
Yeah, no, that's kind of the whole thing.
I will say another thing though about when you were bringing up JJ's weight, how he bulked up, I believe, for the combine.
For your words, yes.
I forget what it was, but one thing I've seen this recently, it's like an ESPN, I don't know the word, not documentary, but little mini interview type thing with Marv and Marv Sr. And it's Marty Smith, that like foreign reporter for SEC, asking Marv Sr. questions about like specifically NFL draft process. How have you been working with Marv through the process? And Marv Sr. was like, yeah, I want you to point to the like past 5 to 10 NFL drafts and how many prospects had the privilege of not doing the NFL combine. So he was saying he looked into players that didn't necessarily participate in the combine or didn't train for the combine, and how they did their rookie years compared to players who weren't training for the combine and kept their body in football shape. Like, I'm not trying to slim down real quick for measurements. I'm going to keep my football physicality. So that's what Marv has done. And Marv Sr. looked back at past examples. Like, I think recently, I think Jamar Chase is probably the best example. I think he technically did the combine. I could be wrong.
I don't think he did.
Even better for my point, thank God. But that was a guy where he was not dedicating a few months to build his body for the combine. He didn't, I'm trying to build my body for the NFL, not the combine. And Marv has the privilege of doing that. They did not do any combine shit. He didn't even do Pro Bowls or not pro day stuff. Marv was like, you watch the tape. You don't need that. And I think because of that, Marv is in a position where he could be a little more prepared out the gate week one. I'm not saying it's a guaranteed.
Now, I think it's
yeah.
No, go ahead.
Well, I just think it's ironic for NFL perspective. It's the combine's so important that, yeah, players are modifying their workout approaches to fit a combine, not the NFL, which is their job. They're modifying their training regimens for a combine. When the second that combine's over, it's like, all right, forget all that shit, back to football. You know, it's kind of ironic how we put so much stress on the combine.
Well, I think we do as fans, but I don't think coaches necessarily care as much as we do. Like, the combine for fans, from a fan perspective, is, oh my God, this guy ran a 4.22, or oh my God, this guy benched 20 reps, or oh, look at his rep. Like, the combine, yeah, it's that, but the thing that matters more for coaches are the interviews. They care about that the most. And then they care about, because you got tape, right? You can see the tape and everything. So seeing these guys do whatever, yeah, it's an added bonus, but it doesn't necessarily change. One, it doesn't change the tape that's already out. But two, it only changes a coach's opinion so much. So I think that it's more valued by the fandom than fans than it is actually by coaches. But like, the other thing is, didn't you just say, I don't know if it was during the episode or right before the episode, but didn't you say that The Cardinals reportedly are not happy with Marvin Harrison Jr. right now, or that they are either
like a while ago
or something.
I'm not sure if it's Cardinals. I know it's Fanatics and Marv. Like his jersey's still not.
But I thought there was actual performance things going on with Marv and the Cardinals that they weren't happy about.
I haven't heard anything. I'll be honest. At this point, it's kind of annoying me as an Ohio State fan. Anytime I see Marv online, it's just people just praising the shit out of him. I'm like, all right, slow it down, folks.
And where was this 2 years ago?
I haven't heard any performance things with it. Like they could be there. I don't know. I didn't hear that.
Okay. I thought I had heard from you, but I thought I had also heard somebody say like, yeah, Neighbors, like the Cardinals are now concerned that they drafted Marv over Neighbors because what Neighbors is doing, and they feel like Marv is underperforming.
I've read that stuff. What are we talking about? What the Cardinals are having buyer's remorse over taking the son of Hall of Famer Marv Sr. and his son is 6'4", 210. And runs like 23 point something miles per hour tops. What? They're having buyer's remorse? Huh? Now,
you never know.
Neighbors and Kyler, that'd be a pretty dirty duo, not going to lie. But like, what are we talking about here? I just think in general, though, hindsight's 2020. We can never go back to that draft, but like, I'm very, very confident Marv will look much better than Neighbors their first 3 to 4 years in their current situations just by franchise quarterback situation and those factors.
Yeah, but the question isn't that. The question is if Neighbors was in Marvin's situation, would he do better?
Oh, I got no idea.
That's the question, because it's seeing what Neighbors is doing right now, given his situation, compared to what Marv is doing in his situation, and whether or not Neighbors would have been the better pick at the time because of what he's doing with less. I think it's
interesting because, like, when I think of Kyler, I'm looking to Kyler's connection with D-Hop. You get a big physical, big body wide receiver and go up and get it. It's weird in this era of NFL where it's like, I think of like a Garrett or a Cooper Kupp or shit. You could even say Justin Jefferson, Jamar. Like, it's not like these receivers are 6'4", 215 Calvin Johnson freaks mowing over dudes. Like, you can get away with a 6'2", 190 wide receiver who runs a 4.4. It's, like, that's probably more effective right now than the big body. But I do think with the way Kyler plays and how he's constantly running around the backfield, sprinting for his life, I think in theory, a big body receiver fits more with the random throw that shit up, D-hop down there somewhere type plays. But also at the same time, because Kyler's scrambling, maybe having a faster yak Neighbors type guy who, when a play breaks down, can just sprint away from the DB and be open. That might be more effective. I don't really know. I'm not really sure. What are you thinking there from that angle? Like a big body versus speed type guy.
I mean, it's also not like Neighbors isn't built out, but Neighbors still big. So, it's also the question of, that's all true, but you have a Trey McBride, right? So you have a bigger body guy already. He might not be as fast. He might not be as far downfield, but you still have a big body security blanket. So, I mean, I'm not really looking at it from that perspective. I'm just looking at it for a pure skill perspective and what you're doing right now. Like, just, it could just be, what the way the media is portraying things. But at this very moment, Neighbors has been displayed to have a lot more skill and niche right now than what we've seen out of Marv. And that's not saying Marv doesn't have any of that or isn't better, but we haven't seen it, at least not at the NFL level. And
I'll be honest, I did not watch the Giants preseason game or the Cardinals. I'm assuming Marv didn't play in the Cardinals preseason game.
I don't think Marv played. I can check.
Bubble wrap that bitch up. Don't let him look at grass until week 1, especially that Arizona field. Shit, that will not be good on his knees. So
he did not play.
Yeah, definitely not. Play. I mean, he shouldn't play the whole preseason. Maybe he gets a drive just to know what it's like to play in the NFL, but that's it.
Yeah, that'd be like a week 4 ordeal.
Yeah, last week, first drive, the ones are in, then we're done.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think it's difficult to say anything right now, but I do think though,
shit.
I do think though that there is a decent level. It's almost kind of like FOMO, like, you know, I invested this. It's the same kind of thing with New England, kind of, not exactly, but kind of, in the way that you're like, oh, I invested this high asset into this guy, right?
Oh yeah, no, I
see what he's doing, and it's still good, but like, look what this other guy's doing right now, like, and that's not saying that your guy is, you know, not better than the other guy, but at this very moment, he might not be showing it. And, you know, like, let's go back to Justin Jefferson, 2020, right? Thinking of who, like, CeeDee Lamb was in that draft class, right? In camp, it would be like, yeah, hey, look. And obviously this is a little different, but hey, look, Justin Jefferson, right? Pick 24.
Around there.
Around there. We really like what he's doing, right? Or I guess maybe let's do it inverse, right? CeeDee Lamb pick 16, right? CeeDee Lamb looks so good, number 88. Like he's looking great. Like we're loving what he's putting out. But we could have, like, look at what this guy's doing in Minnesota right now. Like, you know, what if, right? That's not saying CeeDee Lamb's going to be bad, but Justin Jefferson's just showing more right now. And in an alternate universe, let's say CeeDee Lamb ended up being better than Justin Jefferson, but you just didn't know at the time. So there's all these different things going, right? And you know, you just don't know.
So yeah, I guess in conclusion, I believe Marvin Harrison Jr. is better than Malik Nabers today. That's my conclusion.
It's just still a question of environment.
Do I have anything to back it up based on the preseason, what I've heard from that? No, I'm basing this more so off of the 2022 Rose Bowl game. And what Marv did as a 19-year-old. That's more so what I'm thinking of.
That's completely fair.
Moss 3 dudes in his first ever start, replacing this guy, Chris Olave. You ever heard of him?
I don't know. It sounds familiar.
Like, dead ass, the first time I saw CJ Stroud be lethal was when Marv was out there with him. I was like, oh shit. Now CJ throws that corner out, zero hesitation. You'll throw that fade ball, not even look at the other reads, going to Marv. First time I've seen that out of CJ.
Who did
he would predetermine who he's throwing to, and he didn't care because they're catching.
It was the Cardinals who the Texans traded their pick to, right?
Had to have been for D-Hop. Yeah, Will Anderson trade.
No. Yeah.
Will Anderson trade.
Yeah. Okay. So I was just trying to think, was there a chance that Marv could have ended up on the Texans? Not like they needed him. But...
Nope. But that could have been something. Oh boy. But yeah, I think I got one last little NFL thing, and then I got a little college football AP reaction. We can gloss. We'll do the college football. We could save Dan Orlovsky's quarterback rankings for next time. It'll be fine. But initial AP poll reaction. So first things first, the AP poll that was put out is the exact same rankings for the preseason national championship odds on DraftKings, I believe. Very interesting. Very funny. Interesting. Maybe somebody who wrote this article decided, you know what? Maybe we get rid of opinion on this one and just go based off of numbers. So maybe it's a step in the right direction for ESPN until you read what they say about these teams. This is what I want to start off with. Georgia number 1, Ohio State 2. I have no problems with that at all. But he has both teams with a ceiling of 12-0. No problems there. Yeah, that is their ceiling. He says that the floor for Georgia and Ohio State, though, is 8-4.
Really?
I'm sorry, but there is not a reality out there where Georgia or Ohio State finishes 8-4. There's zero.
Yeah, you're going to lose to Penn State?
Oh, no. The last time Ohio State lost to Penn State, it was off of 2 blocked punts returned for touchdowns in 2016. Yeah, no, Ohio State's not losing to Penn State this year with that offense. Drew Aller, break 100 passing yards challenge level impossible. So yeah, no, Penn State. I mean, going back to Penn State, Everett, I've brought this up. Everett, can you remind me how many times Michigan threw the ball in the second half against Penn State last year on the road in Pennsylvania? 0 times. Now, I've been using this to make fun of JJ McCarthy and the cheating scandal, but a bigger takeaway is Penn State is so awful that they couldn't beat a team that did not throw the ball in the second half. That's how awful Penn State's offense is. Truly awful. Truly awful. And against this Ohio State defense, get past the 50-yard line challenge. Let's start there. Let's start with that. Let's pick up a mini morale dub first before we talk about beating Ohio State. But yeah, Ohio State, an 8-4 floor. The only losses that could happen on the schedule is Oregon and Michigan. That's it.
No, yeah.
And the odds of Ohio State losing both of those, I'd say close to
zero. Not high. Very,
close
very,
to
very
zero,
low.
Losing both of those. So yeah, I thought that was the most egregious thing, seeing the floors they have on here. And yeah, of course, they have the team with the highest floor, Oregon, 9-3. Do I disagree with that floor? No, I think that is their floor. But that's the only team where they got the floor correct.
Still, I mean, even then, a 9-3 floor, like that would be crazy if that happened. Like that's still crazy.
Well, I think Oregon will comfortably be 11-1.
Probably. I mean, it is still wild to me though that like they're not a consensus top 3 team.
Who, Oregon?
Oregon.
No, they are.
Oh, are they number 3?
They're yeah. Everyone has, for the most part, everyone's got Oregon over Texas.
Well, I'm just talking about the AP poll. Sorry.
Yeah, no, they still got Oregon over UT. Oregon's 3 in AP. It's the exact same as the betting.
Okay. I couldn't remember if it was 3 or 4, but I was gonna say like they on like a basic thought process. Some people have them at number 1, some people have them at number 2. But I mean,
I don't think anyone has Oregon at number 1.
Having the number 3
those
team,
people. Let me meet those people, whoever they are.
Those are Oregon fans. Having the number 3 team have a low of 9-3 is just crazy. Same with Ohio State being, in Georgia having that possibility of being 8-4 is crazy.
Yeah, the floor for those teams, the floor for Georgia is 11-1 regular season. They're not losing more than 2 games. There's no way. Like, unless Clemson pulls it off week 1 in the Peach Bowl. Unless that happens, I don't see it happening. Vintage Georgia, they have their neutral site game played in Atlanta. Oh, yeah. Yeah, neutral site. Uh-huh. Oh, yeah. Absolute joke. But, hey, those are the rules. I don't make them. I just enforce them.
Them the rules.
But yeah, that's all I had on college football for the most part. Yeah, my problem is the floors. No problem just ripping it off of the betting lines. Zero shame in that.
No, that works. The casinos are always informed. They always know what's going on. But
speaking of casinos, that the floors, JJ McCarthy's rookie of the year odds increasing in terms of from plus 1,600 to plus 2,200 after week 1. Sprinkle it, folks. Sprinkle that JJ Elroy.
You know exactly who you're talking to.
Sprinkle that.
You know exactly.
Sprinkle that JJ Elroy, folks. Sprinkle it. Ooh.
I like that. But with that, thank you guys so much for watching, listening, guys. 5 stars. You can find us on Spotify, TikTok, YouTube, Twitter, and on Instagram at Waterway Pod. We post new episodes every Tuesday and Thursday on YouTube and all podcast platforms. Make sure you subscribe, turn notifications so you don't miss a single episode. You can follow me around on Twitter at EverettSiggs and at Waterboy Grant. We also post exclusives on Instagram and on TikTok, so make sure to check us out there so you don't miss any content. We also start live streams on YouTube and TikTok, so make sure you watch the last ones on YouTube and you don't miss any future ones. And with that, we'll see you guys in the next episode. Waterboys out.